hopefully it continues to work. We will see. If it starts going off and on, then I don't know. I'll be able to continue, but that's what it was doing yesterday. Might not do that today. Um, so welcome. I would, yeah, I was supposed to be here an hour ago, but daylight savings time completely threw my day off, and if you notice, it's exactly an hour late, just because I wasn't looking at the clock, and my own mental time was, um, yeah, the clock's running inside my head, so the time really didn't change. That's what I hate about daylight savings time. Yes, I will blame it, Mr. Surpaws. Um, because, yeah, time really doesn't change. Oh, yeah, um, yeah, it's more reasonable there, it seems like. See? Hello? It just keeps getting shorter here. I guess that can be a subject, too, is the fact that nobody can change the time is still exactly the same. That's what I don't like about it. When it changes, I still hear the birds singing at the same moments. The birds know when to sing, and they know when it's morning, and they know when it's afternoon. And when daylight savings time happens, the birds keep singing past when they're supposed to be morning singing, because it still is morning. So we just choose to ignore it. Hello, G. Hello, Dino. Hello, Mr. Sorpaz and Diane. Good to see you all here. But yeah, that's my rant on daylight savings time. Fact is, we don't actually listen to it. We'll just pretend that everything opens an hour later and closes an hour earlier. Hello, Sunny Days. Good to see you. Um, we just because that is what actually happens. Everything opens an hour later and everything closes an hour earlier. Yes, that's how it works, I think. So we just, or is it that closes an hour later? Yeah, it opens an hour later and closes an hour later. Um. Oh, hello, Nathan. Hello. Good to hear, see you, hear from you. Well, I don't really hear from you, but hello. Um. Yeah. So what was I going? Well, live seems to be working today, so I guess I can go on with the Heathen Hangout subject that I was going to go on about yesterday. That is um something that my friend suggested to me through a video, and that's what's more suited to a live stream because I found the information from a video that maybe I can share in the link because it's a good video. So it's not exactly an original concept from me. I'm going to be quoting that thing a lot, but it was an interesting bit of stuff. Interesting home slice. That's good, actually. So, subject today: pessimism of strength. Now, I've written down notes and won't be looking at the chat so as not to distract my thought. Um, oh, thank you, AJ Hoots. And Skype is cool, but I prove my own point. I'll be looking away from the chat for a moment here whilst I go on my ramble. Then I'll see what you're all saying. Pessimism, and I don't have it on subscribers only mode just because, I mean, sometimes it seems necessary, but everybody here is doing well. Um, does it, Wow Dino? That's vacation almost. Uh, Pessimism of strength in Good Question G. Everywhere and nowhere. Pessimism of strength. What is it? Um, the video starts. Oh, hi, Jake. Video starts with a quote. A naive idealist. Oh no, it's easy to be a naive idealist. It's easy to be a cynical realist. It's quite another thing to have no illusions and still hold the inner flame. So, in philosophy, there is two ways to look at things. You can either be optimist or a pessimist. Optimists can sort of see things through an illusion of art. They look at the beauty in the world, but only see the beauty, and if they were to see the negativity in the world, they would break down or not be able to cope with it. And then there's the pessimists, or Dionysian wisdom, as it's called back in the Greeks. And that is that you start to become so cynical that everything is dreadful. You even start to see the act of living as being less than wanted. You see you see the entire act of existence as being a suffering, and therefore everything is cynical. But to me, uh, and the video explained it well, because to me that's not how I've ever been, and I've never been an optimist either. It kind of explains the way that I've perceived the world, and so it gives me a way to explain some things, and I think it's a good way, which is a pessimism of strength, which isn't taking one extreme or the other. It's um, combining those two things, combining the beauty with the terror of the world, because looking at it one way or the other, it's either going to lead you to not being able to see the bad things in the world and being delusional to everything, in a way. It's a bit strong word, but you also don't want to be a pessimist and start to see the very act of existence as being a dreadful experience. So uh, we need both. We need both of those things. Um, because if we have both, we can look at a dead flower and see its beauty, see its potential for rebirth. The circle of life, in other words. Uh, my mind's been on this subject, actually. Um, and so video then went into what it takes to feel both things, because it's easy to do one thing or the other, to look at the world and see its beauty, but only its beauty, or look at the badness and just see the badness. But in order to feel that you can look at both and see the truth of it, what's known as a pessimism of strength, I'll put the video in the description because they explain it far better. But a thing of increasing and strengthening your human drives within you. Because according to some philosophies, um, we are not one thing. We're a combination of several drives. We have multiple things inside of us that um, we have to make, cultivate. Yes, that's the word. We have to cultivate all of our different drives, and that goes for um, a drive being what it is that makes us want to move forward. So it does go back to the thing of purpose, but we want all sorts of all the competing drives to be in harmony. You've got the drive that wants to succeed, the drive that wants to um, have self-control, the drive of more basic human wants. I'm sure you can figure it out without me saying it. The drive of self-control, the drive, even drives that don't have a um that aren't are almost frowned upon in this day and age because, well, yeah, like the drive to have power and to dominate, which aren't bad drives if they don't overtake you. It's just that you always want to be better, and this helps us strive for greatness. Um, doesn't necessarily mean we want to step over others, because we also have to cultivate the drive to be humble and cultivate the drive to be best we can. So all of those drives have to be working in harmony and against each other. Um, and so it creates this tension within us. And through that tension, look, I'm getting the plane that happens in videos. Through that tension, only through tension can we create music. That's one thing that I heard. So, yeah, basically I'm quoting the video, but I found that very interesting. The idea that we have all these different drives inside of us. Um, and because also the fact that there is a drive for domination and control, because in normal healthy human beings, it's not what it's not going to destroy our lives to have those. We're simply going to make us better. You see, the society doesn't want us to have those, I believe, because the ones in charge, the them that people speak about, is they don't want us to have control or power even over ourselves. They want to have the power. It's narcissistic tendencies in the world. Uh, so bottom line, say yes to life. Look at everything and see the beauty, even the dead things, even the dark things. Look at the ground. It's dead, but look at what the beauty creates. What it creates. It creates beauty out of death. And that's why it sounds like I'm being pessimistic, but I'm actually being optimistic, and that is pessimism of strength, and I like that. So I thought I'd share it. And that's basically my starting. Um, and now we shall go to the chat for a second. Da, 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 da. Hello, KP. Good to see you. Ah, yes, I've seen your bean sproutings. Yeah, the surroundings and the outlooks and stuff. Those things do. And yeah, negativity does rub off. Certainly. Um, It's interesting what you said there, Lexi. I know we've talked about it, but we must strive to compartmentalize our traumas and make them small enough to be stuffed into an already full drawer. That's an interesting subject in itself. Let's go. Let's make that a subject, shall we? Um, strong. You box it away until you're strong enough to deal with it, each thing at a time. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, we need to deal with things one at a time. Don't let ourselves get overwhelmed. Um, and yeah, Jake, have a few good people, and even in a depressing environment, a little bit of natures are greatly appreciated. Yes. Um, uh, and yes, take yourself outside literally. Compartmentalization. That is an interesting topic. Going right down to the control and domination that is created through society nowadays. It's uh it's a hard thing. Ultimately, I believe that it does serve a purpose. It makes us able to deal with things. But if we compartmentalize too much, we end up fooling ourselves. Uh, we end up not being able to see, I believe. It's happened before. Now I'm thinking of the most extreme examples. Um, things you've heard about in the government experiments and things like that. It's yeah, that's that's something that, well, it's kind of on the spot. I don't have any notes to that, so let's uh let's explore that, shall we? It's a good thing for the Heathen Hangouts. Shall I mention that psychology is my most interesting thing? I won't wobble or cash. I promise. Um, yes, G, compartmentalized. Your thoughts are my thoughts and my very being are not. Yeah, yeah. Um, that's one thing. You can compartmentalize life, but not your thoughts. And yes, it is a natural protective mechanism. We end up forgetting things that we should remember, but it needs to be measured. It needs to be it needs to be well measured, because if we compartmentalize too much, we uh we won't be able to deal with the things and get ourselves out of situations, and we'll just keep dealing with the things that bring us pain. Oh, it is okay to be sick of hearing about what's happening in patches of land far away. I I agree. Um, that's uh, that's more just ignoring rather than compartmentalization, because I believe compartmentalization has to be happening to you in order for it to be put away onto the other shelf. Like let's take severe trauma that I've read about. Somebody is uh somebody is young, 4 years old, let's say, and suddenly they see something tragic happen. A parent dies right in front of them, going really dark here, and they will push that. It is bloody painful. So it's better that so it's a protective mechanism that makes it so that they don't remember. But But if they get too many things compartmentalized like that, they end up with subconscious trauma and they're unable to let things go. So it's a double-edged sword. Compartmentalization is a definite double-edged sword. What do we think on that? What's the negative points of compartmentalization? Any ideas from the chat? We're getting deep. Didn't expect to go so deep, but I very rarely do. I always end up going deep when I just don't even expect it. I can be having a light time, and suddenly, boom. Yes, need more positivity to combat it. That's the whole thing of that goes with the pessimism of strength, is that you can then see the positivity even in the negativity, because you can see you know what it is. You've cultivated your inner drive, so you have an inner strength. I'm not going to say that I have yet. I'm not going to pretend that I'm somebody who is somebody who is actually on top of the golden Buddha, like I said in one of my videos. But it's something I'll strive for. And yeah, laugh in the face of adversity, that kind of thing. And gee, good example. It can rob you of the ability to be yourself at all times. Yes, that's true. And it's losing the ability to be ourself that is the worst part. And what is Dumbledore's famous quote, Jake? There's light even in the darkest of times, basically. Yeah, true. And we do not want to lose the ability to be ourselves. We don't want to put on a mask. Put on a mask of, um, putting on a mask of what's the word? Yeah, Reventor thinks that he is, bad at English because he can't think of the word. I speak English and I can't think of the word. But yeah. A mask of self-deception. That's it. We put on this mask of self-deception and suddenly we are a thing that we don't even identify with, just because we think it's what we should be. We don't want to let our traumas out, but we should. We need to face the traumas. Oh, good to hear, Michael. I'm glad I'm on the right path. Hello, Curtis. Welcome back. And Dino, you deal with something in a compartment by opening the door or lid in a safe situation. That way, if there be dragons, you are not harmed and you are a survivor, champion, over extreme adversity. Um, um, yeah, we have, we take the compartmentalization and we open it up when we want to. At some time, we have to, or else, it will eat us completely. And you disagree, Lex, do you? Yeah, you didn't wear one of the face nappies, but you hid your anxiety and pain from the world. But did it go on forever? That's the point. You faced it eventually. And it's a deep topic. And yes, it is personal. Only you know when and how to open these doors. It's the darkness within ourselves alone. I suppose some can. Hi, hello everyone. It's Curtis, and it seems, yeah, that's right. Only the person knows when and how. but almost seems like when we're ready, we need to share it with something, someone, something. Even, I suppose, even if you say it to your dog, you have to face it. Um, and yeah, we don't know. Uh, Jake, and yeah, it's where we thought we were. It, thought, yeah, a lot of us were taught that way, indeed. But yeah, it's a 12 years. Yes, it takes a long time to open the door, and when it's time, it's time. When it's not time, we save it. Um, hmm, true. You are the only one who has the key, and that's why yeah. Nobody can. Nobody else can open it. Which brings about another point is that we have the ability to fix ourselves and nobody else does. Everybody can help though. To just have that person who listens, or that person who is willing to help you go through it. But yeah, this is an interesting subject. Very interesting. It's uh, it's truly a thing unique to humans, I believe. What does an animal do when they have trauma? I don't think. Well, dogs who are put into a abusive situation will end up acting like it, but slowly it will go away. It's a protective thing, but they will not ruminate on it, I guess. They're different than us. Only us humans have the capability to overthink everything. But that's what makes us us, I guess. We are animals, but we have a different form. Unless you're a crow. Maybe ravens. Ravens might have traumas. I mean, they teach their ravenlings their traumas and don't like people through several generations. Um, yeah, some experiences are going to the grave, and they don't have to be traumas. It's only a trauma. What is a trauma? A trauma is something that causes us fear or pain, so we hide it away, compartmentalizing. Yeah, you don't need to turn them into stories. Uh, yeah, my Lexi, saving the door for the right person or groups of person who can, one, understand where you're coming from, and two, offer hope for future of less pain. Indeed. Quite indeed. Sometimes it doesn't, but like we manage to deal with it somehow. And some things take the long time and the right moment. And we're getting a lot of feedback in this topic. I think uh, I think it's truly something that everybody is dealing with. And that's the thing with compartmentalization is that we deal with it without actually noticing it. A wonderful day. A wonderful day.